It's time now to check in live with X-Play co-host and gaming expert Adam Sessler. Adam, good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good to see you, Kevin. So you're all better?
No, I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there to say the least.
Well, hang, my friend.
I can't transmit it via satellite. I promise. At least that's what I've been telling the ladies.
Okay, I feel better. I have all the sanitary stuff around me.
Well, let's get into it because I'm sad that I missed yesterday. You know, Sony came out, a bunch of announcements, tons of good info. Microsoft even came to the table with some big news this week. Why didn't we see much news coming out of Nintendo's keynote, Adam?
Well, there is one very clear reason. Nintendo's about to do a stock split, and when you do something like that, you can't really say anything that might look like you're trying to manipulate the stock value before you actually split it and take advantage of that. It's more or less like insider trading. So, yeah, they really couldn't say anything very forward-looking about new games or when things are going to be coming out or really a change in strategy. What we did get was actually pretty cool, though. It was Shigeru Miyamoto, obviously the man behind Mario and Zelda, getting up on stage and really telling the developers and the audience his philosophy about making games. You know, and it was really interesting. There was some very clever, very funny moments. He was showing how over time his wife was getting into games. It was through a waifu-meter. So, right. You know, she saw the DS and Nintendogs and things, and that those are the ways that we should expand the appeal of gaming to a broader market.
All right, well, now one thing we did get a peek at was Mario Galaxy, and this was a title that for a long time people have been saying will be the killer app for the Wii, but Adam, does the Wii even need a killer app? And at this point, is Mario Galaxy the title to be that?
Well, I think the Wii is its own killer app. That console sold itself on its merits. But still, it needs some games. We had Zelda. I like the other stuff out there. But people are pretty hungry for another game of the substantive value that we saw with Twilight Princess. Galaxies, there was far more footage that they showed than anything we've ever seen before. And it looks awesome. This is the Mario game I think I've wanted since Mario 64. I wasn't really the biggest Sunshine fan. And it looks like it's a big, vast game that has a lot of the classic fun platforming, but it also has this really fun way that you're moving around from planet to planet. And it really seems like it's going to be a far more open game than anything we've ever seen before from Mario. The question is now, when are we going to play it? They did say this year, but I want it soon, not later.
Yeah, so an exciting game that's showing off cool features and how amazing it is. Nothing that's going to affect the NASDAQ anytime soon, though, right?
I doubt anything very revolutionary is going to be coming out because really they had the revolution with obviously the Wiimote and the Wii itself.
The hardware was that selling point.
Yes.
All right, now what about the Virtual Console? Because this was something that gamers have obviously been going nuts over for a while. They've been downloading their $10 NES games from years past. But when you fire up your Wii now, Adam, and you're looking at those channels, in comparison to what Sony is showing off with their home service, aren't you left a little cold? Aren't you wondering how the Virtual Console could possibly compare to a service like PlayStation 3's Home?
Well, I have fun with the Virtual Console because I can play Mario 64 and play around with my Mii.
Oh, come on. Because you can vote on whether or not you think you're taller than the rest of the country and the Everybody Votes channel.
Guess what? I don't have to walk to my polling place. I just go click, and I can say, hey, I like that, and I'm done. I moved on to something else. Got to figure out what the weather is in Bangkok.
So a virtual stroll you don't care about. It's the actual applications that the service offers?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? The concept behind Home is cool. What I saw, it did not look like something I would ever want to be spending much time with because there was no fun there, and I don't know. I don't want to rely too much on other people for my fun. If they're fun, I'll hang out with them in real life.
Yeah, if the internet and interacting with console gamers has shown us one thing, it's that you shouldn't rely on them for anything other than headaches. All right, now you got a chance to sit down with Shigeru Miyamoto after he delivered his keynote speech. How did that go, Adam? Did you get some good info out of him?
You know what? Any chance you get to talk to Shigeru Miyamoto, you take it on, and it's always amazing and incredible, and he has a wonderful way of presenting it. Just look at it. This is one of those rare and wonderful moments. We're here with Shigeru Miyamoto, the man behind just about everything you love at Nintendo. How are you?
Fine. So today you talked a lot about sort of trying to create some emotions that are in the game, and I was just curious, what has been your current emotion looking at what the Wii has done both in Japan and here with all this incredible success that maybe was even more surprising than you expected?
Yes, I've been smiling a lot. The most important thing for me is to see the consumers enjoying themselves. So, to be honest, I was quite relieved to see the Wii do so well.
The new Mii channel where you get to have sort of a contest between the Miis. If you could elaborate a little more on what you'll be able to do there, because it really did sound fun.
僕すごいコンパクトなチャンネル
Well, yeah, I think that in essence, taking a very simple channel idea and combining it with the functionality of WeConnect 24 is going to allow us to come up with some very new and unique ideas. If I were to tell people to make a Mii like me, then if you look at how many Wiis are out there in the world, you're going to end up with hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of Miis of Miyamoto. So all these people have made these different versions of Mii using the Mii channel. Which one's the best? And I think that that's a very fun thing to look at, and you could, doing some contests like that and evaluating that would be a very fun thing.
You showed us Super Mario Galaxy, which was very interesting. Where did you come up with the initial idea of wanting to have different worlds that you would sort of bounce around with? It's so different than some of the other ways that you've approached the Mario game in the past.
基本的には
Well, one of the first things we did was we looked at ways to kind of change the different levels that Mario would explore. And one idea we had for that was to have these smaller spherical areas that Mario could explore. And we thought then, how would you travel from one to the other? Working with that, we said, well, then if each spherical planet has its own gravitational field and pulls you from one to the other, that could be a very different experience from what we've seen with the Mario games up until now. We kind of felt that, maybe people had gotten a little bit tired of the way that the Mario games have always progressed in terms of always moving in one direction. And so we thought that if we go with these spherical planets, then all of a sudden you can go anywhere. You can run all around it in any direction you want.
Wait, I cannot tell you how excited I am to actually finally play this game. I thank you so much for your time, Miyamoto. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
All right, now, Adam, I'll be honest. I wasn't jealous that I was missing out on GDC until just now. You got to see all the cool press releases, and you got to sit down with Shiggy.
Yeah, this has been one of the best GDCs that I've actually seen. I mean, there's even other stuff. I've seen a lot of games that we really can't show right now. One of them is called Mass Effect, which I cannot believe. But really, I think what I've learned out of this is that this is the best year for video games I've ever seen. And obviously with E3 a little bit later in the year, in July, when we can finally actually show all this stuff to everybody out there, you're going to realize how excited, why I'm so excited sitting here.
So you're not concerned about the state of the industry at all? You're nothing but excitement for this year out?
This is the only thing I'm concerned about is my time management. There's going to be more games than it's going to be possible to play unless, I don't know, I break a leg or something.
Time to bring on a seventh assistant, perhaps, Adam.
I think that might be it.
All right, I want to thank you for your time, Adam, and thanks for joining us, and thanks for talking to Shiggy. I'm still jealous.
Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7, only on G4.